More Singaporeans are considering the CCR for their own stay. Why? Right? So what are the reasons for the resurgence? Okay, more Singaporeans are considering the CCR for their own stay. Why? Right? Because of point 3 and point 5. 0.345. Okay. But before I jump into that, let me maybe talk a little bit about the lesser speculation in the market lah. So I think this all of us know. With the cooling measures, speculative purchases in the market has basically been wiped out. So the prices in the CCR have stabilized, especially for the newer developments. The purchases into the newer developments, not speculative anymore. They either buy it for investment or for own stay, but not speculation. So for investments, because they either have paid quite a fair bit in ABSD or have decoupled to purchase, they have the holding power, because for them to purchase, if they are taking a loan, TDSR has been applied, LTV has been applied. So even with interest rates increase, they are not forced to sell their properties off at a time that they don't want to sell off. Hence, bringing more stability into the prices of the CCR today. Okay, on 0.345, right, smaller units being built, quantums narrowing between the CCR and other regions, right, and landed prices skyrocketing. So I put you in the scenario of, let's say, a couple, right? I was talking about this ideal, right, or make-believe couple, for example, right? They make $20,000 a month. Imagine they have just fulfilled their MOP for their HDB. They are looking to upgrade, okay? And I guess for a good number of Singaporeans, they are still looking to either purchase a landed property, of course, if they can afford it, right? But landed property, as we have shared with you quite a fair bit, the internet. Yeah, I can see that it's lagging quite a fair bit. So what do we do? Sorry about that. Yeah, it's been a while since we did it. I think it's okay again. Yeah. Again, I apologize for that. I think it was quite laggy on the last point. So let me repeat the last point again. Right? So let's have a make-believe scenario, right? With our make-believe couple that's earning $20,000 a month. They've just hit their HDB MOP, their EC MOP. They're sitting on pretty decent profits from their first purchase, right? Have their first pot of gold already. They also are earning well, so they are looking to either buy a landed property or move into a better location, right? Especially if they are like in the banking sector, tech sector, or they have friends who stay in the CCR, or their parents used to stay in the CCR. Okay, so it's always between landed or CCR lah. And with landed prices, as we have said, shooting up significantly, right? Easily $1 million extra today as opposed to last year for an inter-terrace, $1 million extra. So people are starting to become a little bit torn, and then somehow if not say they want to buy landed, they can buy today. The supply of landed as compared to the demand is also very, very drastically different, right? Under supply. And then also if they want to buy it, they have to pay probably above asking valuation for it, because of the imbalance between demand and supply. Hence, shifting people to start to think about, hey, why not? Maybe I buy a 3-4 bedroom in the CCR, right? Because prices are still relatively, they have not spiked as much as the rest of Singapore. Yeah, in a better area in River Valley, traditionally a atas area, so to speak. Yeah, so the skyrocketing landed prices have sort of shifted some of the demand over into the CCR, local demand. Also, additionally, right, because the CCR, the developers used to build really, really big units, but today the developers are becoming a little smarter, and also because of all the ABSD, QC rules, right, the developers cannot just build huge units and just leave it there and hopefully one day they can sell it, right? They need to move units fast, and they have become smarter by building smaller units, right? Today we have units that are very similar in size to our OCR and RCR units. So we have like our 700 square feet 2 bedrooms, 500 square feet 1 bedrooms, 1000 square feet 3 bedrooms, which last time totally cannot find one in the OCR, right? Last time. So one of the reasons why, one of the examples, it's very, very obvious, right, is if you go to Robertson Quay, right, the example that I showed you just now. Martin Modern, yeah, 900 plus square feet is a 3 bedroom. But if you go to Martin Place and if you go to Rivergate, 1000 square feet is only a 2 bedroom, which is one of the reasons why Martin Modern, despite it being 99 years in a freehold area, have done well, right? So it caters to a particular group of, buyers that they need the number of bedrooms. They want the prestige of buying into the CCR, and it's not that they are silly to buy a 99 years. It's because because if you don't understand it, right, you are looking at just the data. You see Rivergate 1000 square feet bought at that price, and you see Martin Modern at that particular square feet also at that price. You'll be like, why that guy will do such a silly thing and go and buy? But if you dig deeper, analyze deeper, you realize Rivergate is a 2 bedroom and Martin Modern is a 3 bedroom. So that is also something interesting phenomenon that I have observed moving forward, which is why I quite like the newer CCR developments, right, that is catering to this kind of demand, right? Slightly smaller in size, while the PSF is obviously higher. I feel that it's going to be a demand for these properties moving forward, because they don't have the alternative. The buyers don't have the alternative to buy the other kind of the slightly older developments, because they just don't provide sufficient bedrooms. Okay. Then we are talking about the return of foreigners, right? Because I feel, and this is something that I've gathered feedback from all over the different spectrums of agents on the ground, from those doing shop houses, high quantum purchases, luxury properties. What we are seeing in the market today is a significant increase in high net worth individuals looking to move funds into Singapore, right? Part of it thanks to geopolitical uncertainties, part of it because of Singapore's performance tackling COVID-19, right? And with basically Hong Kong screwing up how they handled COVID-19 so badly, it's making us look a lot better. With us also opening up a lot faster than them, we are pulling in a lot more expatriates, a lot more high net worth individuals, and also Hong Kong, right? We are really, really benefiting from that situation over in Hong Kong. We are pulling in a lot of hot money. And so on what I said earlier of the foreigners choosing to buy properties outside of Singapore because of all the restrictions, we see that phenomenon being reversed, because not only other countries are also starting to have cooling measures on their own. Once everything is equalized, basically every country has cooling measures, all these high net worth individuals, all these foreigners then will have a fair pick again, and from that, then what they look at, Singapore will then stand out because of our stability, and also because of how our tackling of the COVID-19 crisis further reinforced our standing in the global gateway cities. Okay. Right. Lastly, the fundamentals are now more in line with the rest of Singapore. So what do I mean? What do I mean by this? We are starting to see a higher number of foreigners, right, buying up into a particular not foreigners, sorry, Singaporeans buying up in a particular development, right? Last time, right, we have seen the classic cases like Reflections. The reason why it's been the prices over there is so screwed up is because of the high number of foreigners buying into it. Another reason why the Sentosa properties was so screwed up because there was so much speculation inside, so many foreigners, so they were just selling left, right, center at any whatever price, okay? Versus now, right, the developments, like I mentioned earlier, primarily made out of Singaporeans buying it either for own stay or for investment, just their first or second property, right? And so they will not be selling those units at whatever prices because of any geopolitical movements or because of any interest rate or currency fluctuations. Okay, so a lot more fundamentally strong, bringing us in line with like the demographics of properties at the RCR and the OCR. Okay, and last but not least, right, a word of caution for those of you who are looking to move into the CCR or exploring the CCR, right? One of the key questions to ask yourself is, does a CCR property fit into your property plan? Why do I say this, right? Read also the second point, right? Are you buying your ideal CCR property or are you just making do? Why do I put these 2 points in? Because I have had clients come to me and ask me about, whether or not they should buy a CCR property at this juncture. And a lot of the times, especially if they are like in their early 30s, while they can afford a property in the CCR, it tends to not be the ideal property, so to speak, right? They are looking at per square feet, right? They enter that because per square feet, but because of the fact that they have not worked long enough, either because of, right, more of the savings, loan-wise tend to be okay, but it's more of like savings for down payments. So they are fixed with a certain budget. And with that kind of budget, while they can buy the location, they cannot buy the type of unit that they like, which is maybe a spacious 3-bedroom. They are then looking at like 2+ study, 2 bedrooms, and they're trying to fit their property plan into the location and into trying to fit that property fit their life into that property, which I never recommend. Okay, and so if you want to buy the CCR, right, my advice is make sure you actually do like that property. Okay, make sure it works for you, right? I will take a step back and ask myself, am I making do on my requirements just to buy that particular property? If that is what, actually this doesn't even, not just applies to the CCR, I guess it applies to every purchasing in any part of Singapore, right? Always take a step back. Are you making do, right? Because as a person, I never like to make do, and how I advise my clients is also never to make do. So what do I mean by that? So, right, you might be saying, oh, Alvin, so when you say don't make do, what do you mean? So for example, right, for this particular client, they were looking at maybe a 2-bedroom or maybe a small 3-bedroom in the CCR. Then I asked them the question, is that really what you are looking for? Is that something that you're happy to stay in the long term? Their answer is no. So what we did in return, right, on the other side of the fence is, since we cannot buy our ideal property today, right, shall we explore some of the options to is there a way that we can maybe take 1 or 2 steps more before hitting our ideal property by deploying our cash in the right way, buying a correct investment property? Yeah, so we split up into 2, right? Just focusing then on the investment properties, maybe move the investment properties in 5 to 6 years time, and then consolidate our funds later on to buy the ideal one that we really, really want versus making do. Okay? And third point, right, please do not just focus on the PSF, because that tends to land you in the type of properties that will lose money, like the boutique developments. There's a reason why their PSF is so low, right? I rather you pay a little bit more and buy the larger developments, the better developments, okay? And also make sure you analyze the layouts. Are the layouts usable? Because a lot of the times, And this is sort of like a self-fulfilling kind of thing, because you go on Property Guru, you find, and then the PSF, wow, looks very good. Then when you went to go and view the property, because you already convinced yourself that I think it's a good deal because the PSF is low, you go inside even though there's obvious red flags like the layout is crap, the development is crap, right? You still force yourself to, maybe okay, right? I buy, right? Since the PSF is so low, it's going to work out fine. Please do not do that, okay? You have, right, bringing me to my last point, visualize your exit, right? Who's going to buy from you? If you are buying it solely because the PSF is low, you are in for a world of hurt when you want to exit the property in the future. There are particular developments that were designed to catch, right, buyers like that. Buyers that are overly focused in your PSF. They have terrible layouts, they have terrible facilities, that sort of things, right? Another thing to be cautious about is also, please do check what is the maintenance fee of the particular development that you are buying into, because some of the PSF is very low but the maintenance fee is very high. If you're buying it for investment, all that adds up in the long run, and then next time it's also going to make it extremely hard for you to sell if the per square feet if the maintenance fee is very high. Okay.